Namaste everyone and welcome to my channel Sapna's Yoga Diary. In this audio video book, I am presenting Gherand Samhita. So the book will open in front of you and I'm going to read out to you so that you can read and listen to what's written in Gherand Samhita at the same time. I'm going to read out the English translation only because I might not be good in pronouncing the Sanskrit words accurately, but it is important to understand what it means in any language. So its English translation is there in this book, so you'll understand what's written in the book in English. Let's begin. Gherand Samhita. Who is the author of Gherand Samhita? It's Srisa Chandra Vasu. The Gherand Samhita. Chapter 1st. On the training of the physical body. Salutation. I bow to that Lord Primeval who taught in the beginning the science of the training in hardiness, Hatha Yoga, a science that stands out as the first rung on the ladder that leads to the supreme heights of royal training, Raj Yoga. Note: the training of the body is the first step to the training of the mind. A healthy mind can exist only in a healthy body. Hence, the Hatha Yoga or training of the body is the first step to the training of the mind or Raj Yoga. Hat may be translated as hard or the training of or in hardiness. Raj in this connection may be translated as royal or softness or training in royal graces or mental discipline. Ghatastha Yoga Kathanam. Once, Chand Kapali, going to the cottage of Gherand, saluted him with reverence and devotion. Chand Kapali said, O master of yoga, O best of the yogits, O Lord, I wish now to learn the physical discipline, yoga, which leads to the knowledge of truth or tattva jnana. Gherand replied, Well asked, indeed. O mighty armed, I shall tell thee, O child, what thou asked me, attend to it with diligence. There are no fetters like those of illusion, Maya, no strength like that which comes from discipline, Yoga. There is no friend higher than knowledge, Jnana, and no greater enemy than egoism, Ahankar. As by learning the alphabets, one can through practice master all the sciences. So, by thoroughly practicing first the physical training, one acquires the knowledge of the true. On account of good and bad deeds, the bodies of all animated beings are produced, and the bodies give rise to works, karma, which leads to rebirth. And thus, the circle is continued like that of Persian wheel. As the Persian wheel in drawing water from a well goes up and down, moved by the bullocks, filling and exhausting the buckets again and again, so the soul passes through life and death moved by its deeds. Like unto an unbaked earthen pot thrown in water, the body is soon decayed in this world. Bake it hard in the fire of training in order to strengthen and purify the body. The seven exercises. The seven exercises which appertain to this training of the body are the following: purificatory, strengthening, steadying, calming, and those leading to lightness, perception, and isolation. The purification is acquired by the regular performance of six practices to be mentioned shortly. Second, asan or posture gives drinata or strength. Third, mudra gives sthirta or steadiness. Fourth, pratyahar gives dhairyata or calmness. Fifth, pranayam gives lightness or laghima. Sixth, dhyan gives perception, pratyakshatva of self. And seventh, samadhi gives isolation, nirlipta, which is verily the freedom. The six purificatory processes: first, dhoti; second, basti; third, neti; fourth, lokiki; fifth, ratak; sixth, kapalbhati. These are the shatkarmas or six practices known as sadhana. Try to remember this sequence in the same order as it is given. First dhoti, then basti, then neti, then lokiki, then pratak, then kapalbhati. All right. Now let's move on to part 1. It is talking about dhoti practice. There are 4 internal dhotis. The dhotis are of 4 kinds and they clear away the impurities of the body. They are antardhoti, that is internal washing; dandadhoti, cleaning the teeth; third, hriddhoti, cleaning the heart; D, that is the fourth one, mulshodhana, cleaning the rectum. Now let's understand what is antardhoti. Antardhoti is again subdivided into 4 parts. Vatsara, that is wind purification; Varisara, water purification; Agnisar, fire purification; and Bahiskrita. Now let's understand what is Vatsara Dhoti. Contract the mouth like a beak of a crow and drink air slowly. And filling the stomach slowly with it, move it therein and then slowly force it out through the lower passage. The Vatasar is very secret process. It causes the purification of the body. It destroys all diseases and increases the gastric fire. So that was about Vatasar Dhoti. Remember, Vatasar. Vat means air. So here you are cleansing through the air. Now, second is Varisar. That was Vatasar, air purification. This is Varisar. Fill the mouth with water down to the throat and then drink it slowly and then move it through the stomach, forcing it downwards expelling it through the rectum. This process should be kept very secret. It purifies the body, and by practicing it with care, one gets a luminous, shining body. Varisar is the highest dhoti. He who practices it with ease purifies his filthy body. Filthy means dirty. So, purifies his dirty body and turns it into a shining one. Agni Sar or fire purification. Press in the navel knot or intestines towards the spine for 100 times. This is Agni Sar or fire process. This gives success in practice of yoga. It cures all the diseases of the stomach, gastric juice, and increases the internal fire. This form of dhoti should be kept very secret. In fact, all dhotis are kept secret, and it is hardly to be attained even by the gods. By this dhoti alone, one certainly gets a luminous body. So, this fire purification is known as Agni Sar. I have a video of Agni Sar in my channel. If you want to see how Agni Sar is done, you can go and have a look at it. I will link it in the description. Now, the last is Bahiskrita Dhauti by Kakachanchu or Crow Bill Mudra. Fill the stomach with air, hold it there for 1 hour and a half, and then force it down towards the intestines. This dhoti must be kept great secret and must not be revealed to anybody. Then, standing in the navel deep water, draw out the Shakti Nadi, long intestines. Wash the nadi with hand, and so long as its filth is not all washed away, wash it with care and then draw it in again into the abdomen. This process should be kept secret. It is not easily to be attained even by gods. Simply by this dhoti, one gets Deva Deh, godlike body. As long as a person has not the power of retaining the breath for an hour and a half or retaining wind in the stomach for that period, so long he cannot achieve this grand dhoti or purification known as Bahiskrita dhoti. So, this one seems the toughest one, and it's clearly written to practice this. First, you need to have the power, ability to retain the breath for 1.5 hours. All right. Next, Danda Dhauti or teeth purification. Danda Dhauti is of 5 kinds. Purification of the teeth, of the root of the tongue, of the holes of the ear, and of the frontal sinuses. Now, what happens in Danta Moola Dhoti? So, this is basically cleansing of the teeth, purification of the teeth. Rub the teeth with Ketechu powder or with pure earth so long as dental impurities are not removed. Wow, this is what we used to do when we used to go to have bath in Ganga River. I'm from Varanasi, so going to take bath in Ganga River was something very common to us. And from the childhood, we were being taught this thing that when we used to go to have bath down the river, there used to be the soil, the pure soil, and then you have to clean it, clean your uh, teeth with this pure earth, this soil, and then all the impurities gets removed. This teeth washing is a great dhoti and an important process in the practice of yoga for the yogis. It should be done daily in the morning by the yogis in order to preserve the teeth. In purification, this is approved of by the yogis. The second one, which is Jiva Shodhana or tongue dhoti. Generally, we clean the tongue with the tongue cleaner. Now, let's see how yogis are suggesting to clean the tongue. I shall now tell you the method of cleansing the tongue. The elongation of the tongue destroys old age, death, and disease. Join together the three fingers known as the index, the middle, and the ring finger. Put them into the throat and rub well and clean the root of the tongue. And by washing it again, throw out the phlegm. Having thus washed it, rub it with butter and milk it again and again. Then, by holding the tip of the tongue with an iron instrument, pull it out slowly and slowly. Do this daily with diligence before the rising and setting sun. By so doing, the tongue becomes elongated. All right. So, in basically this Jiva Shodhana, which is the tongue cleaning, explaining the process through which you elongate the tongue. And by elongating the tongue, they're saying it destroys old age, death, and disease. Karna dhoti. So it's ear cleansing. Clean the two holes of the ear by index finger and ring finger. By practicing it daily, the mystical sounds are heard. Kapal Randra Dhoti. Rub with the thumb of the right hand where the depression in the forehead near the bridge of the nose. Okay, I found that area. By practicing of this yoga, diseases arising from derangements of phlegmatic humors are cured. Now, what happens when you do this? The vessels become purified and clairvoyance is induced. This should be practiced daily after awakening from sleep, after meals, and in the evening. Next is Rid Dhoti. So, Rid Dhoti is basically cleansing of the heart. Rid Dhoti or purification of heart or rather throat is of three kinds. That is by dand, a stick, woman, vomiting, and by vastra, cloth. So this is basically the dhoti which we generally practice, which is generally taught in the yoga studios. Vamana dhoti, danda dhoti, and vastra dhoti. Vastra dhoti is still very difficult. Not many yoga studios teach vastra dhoti, but Vaman dhoti, which is also known as kunjal, is taught by many of the yoga studios. So let's understand first the danda dhoti. Danda dhoti, the dhoti which is done using a stick. Take either a plantain stalk or a stalk of turmeric or a stalk of cane and thrust it slowly into the esophagus and then draw it out slowly. By this process, all the phlegm, bile, and other impurities are expelled out of the mouth. By this Danda Dhauti, every kind of heart diseases is surely cured. Now it is talking about Vaman Dhauti. After meal, let the wise practitioner drink water full up to the throat. Then, looking for a short while upwards, let him vomit it out again. By daily practicing this yoga, disorders of phlegm and bile are cured. Alright, so here it's written after meal. Let the wise practitioner drink water full up to the throat. This is very strange because generally when we practice Vaman Dhoti, we do it empty stomach. We do it empty stomach early morning. We do the same thing. We drink a lot of water up to the throat and then we vomit it out. We do all of it but empty stomach. But in Gherand Samhita, it's written the first two words after meal. This could be misprinting too, as we had seen earlier also in case of Agni Sar. So this could be a mistake in printing as well. So just remember this difference. By daily practicing this yoga, disorders of phlegm and bile are cured. Now, the third type is Vastra Dhauti. In Vastra Dhauti, what you do, let him swallow slowly a thin cloth 4 fingers wide. Then let him draw it out again. This is called Vastra Dhauti. What Vastra Dhauti does? This cures gulma or abdominal diseases, fever, enlarged spleen, leprosy, and other skin diseases and disorders of phlegm and bile. And day by day, the practitioner gets health, strength, and cheerfulness. So, Vastra Dhoti is explained as it is practiced. Here, you need to remember the dimension of Vastra. It's clearly written 4 fingers wide. So, if it is asked, what is the dimension of Vastra as per Gherand Samhita, you need to say 4 fingers wide. You have to swallow it slowly and then draw it out. Mool Shodhan or purification of rectum. How it is done? The Apana Vayu does not flow freely so long as the rectum is not purified. Therefore, with the greatest care, let him practice this purification of the large intestines. By the stalk of the root of Haridra, that is turmeric, or the middle finger, the rectum should be carefully cleansed with water over and over again. This destroys constipation, indigestion, dyspepsia, and increases the beauty and vigor of the body and enkindles the sphere of the fire, that is gastric juice. And here the dhoti process ends. The second part will be covered in the next video. In this part, you would have read many practices which are not being taught in the institutions in general, but you need to just remember these things, that such practices also exist, whether people are practicing it currently or not. But these practices are explained in Gheranda Samhita. So just remember these practices even if you're not practicing it on daily basis. Thank you.